Hello, welcome to the video. In this video, we learn about how we can import custom CAD model into Arena simulation software. On your screen, you can see a simulated environment in which two custom model CAD model milling machine or lathe machine is imported into the Arena model, and there is a two conveyor that transfer the parts and the two forklifter that transfer the part from part A to the destination station. Okay, so let's move to the first arena home screen so that we can first build our model, and then we can simply use that model logic to define our resources entities in our arena 3D environments. So let's move to the arena home screen. So here's our model. In this model, first add the create module, and under the create module rename it as the part A for material arrival and define the entry type part A. The time between arrival is random expo and its value is 20 minutes, and then simply click OK. And then add another create module for part B type material arrival, and the time between arrival in this create module is 30 random expo minutes. After the material arrival, there is a machining process 1, and under actions is delay release, add the resource milling machine, and delay type is triangular distributed with its parameter values, and then add another process and rename it as the machining process 2, and add the another resource, name it as the lathe machine, and the delay type is again triangular distributed and the units are in minutes, and these are its parameter values of triangular distribution. That's it, and then click OK. So after defining the process module of both material for part A and part B, there is station 1, and name it as the station 1, and this one is the station 3. Then station 1 actually assess the conveyor 1 module. So add the conveyor or the conveyor related component from the advanced transfer panel and simply drag the assess module in it here, and rename it as the conveyor 1, and the number of cells that transfer the part from conveyor each bin is 1, and the queue name is assess1.queue. Then add another assess module and rename it as the assess2, and the conveyor name is in this case conveyor 2, and number of cell is again 1 in this case. Then this module actually assess the conveyor for conveyor 1, and that actually pick the part from station 1 to 2. So actually conveyor 1 is transferred the part from picking the part from station 1 to the station 2. So here is the destination station, that is station 2. So we first need to define the station 2 and station 4 so that the conveyor 1 and conveyor 2 transfer their parts. So add another to station module, and the name of that station is station 2 and the station 4. So the conveyor 1 actually pick the part from station 1 and transfer it to station 2, and conveyor 2 is actually pick the part from station 3 in this case and transfer that part into station 4, and then part simply exit the conveyor 1. So as you know that here under the assess module we define the number of cell is 1, so definitely you need to release or free that cell, so put here a 1. If you put 2 in that assess module, so definitely you need to free that number of cell, that is 2. Okay, so exit the both conveyor from the part. So part are actually move from station 1 to station 2 or station 3 to station 4 using the conveyor module, and then exit. And at the exit station there is a request for the transporter that transfer the material mean the part A and part B to these station to their respective station, like station 5 and station that means the parts are disposed from the system. So the request one the request module is added from the advanced transfer, and the transporter name in this forklift 1, and the selection rule is cyclical in this case, and the priority is high, and the entry notation is entry dot station, and the velocity is 1 per hours, and the queue name is request 1 dot queue. Add another request module, and here the transporter name is forklift 2, and the remaining attributes remain the same. Then this request module is actually required to transport the forklifter to pick the part from station 2 to the deliver that part from station 2 to destination station, that is station 5. So to use the transport module, you need to request the transport first. So transporter name is definitely forklift 1, that is defined under the request module, and the destination station in this case is station 5, and the velocity is 1 per hour. Same is the case here, that is the transporter 2, and the transporter name is forklift 2, and the entity station type is station, and mean the destination station type is station 6 in this case, and the velocity is 1 units per hour. That's it. So here's our station 5 and station 6. So definitely you need to first define the station 5 and 6, then you can call that station in this transport module. So as the transporter module delivered the part from this station to this station, so after delivering the part to the destination station, you need to free the transport so that it can repeat the same process. So you have to use the free module again from the advanced transfer panel. So here use the transporter name which you gonna free, that is forklift 1, and in this case is forklift 2, and then finally entities dispose the system. So in this simple model, you can simply see the parts actually arrive to the system, then they are processing for machining processes 1 and machining processes 2 for each part A and part B. Then the conveyor module is used to transfer the part from their arrival station to destination station, and then there is a transporter that deliver the part to the distribution center, let's say. So this one is the 2D model. It's relatively simple enough, so I'm not going to explain this 2D model. So this video is basically built to the 3D purpose. So without wasting our time, let's move to the arena 3D view, and we can learn how we can first import the custom CAD model into our arena 3D model, and then we learn the step-by-step tutorial how we can build the arena 3D model. So in that case, you need to click this arena visual designer, click on it, and then you will see the model is open up. So the model is already built here, so I will repeat the same step by simply clicking this new button to create a new 3D visualization screen, and then simply click OK, and then click yes. So create a new project and then click OK. So this one is the by default screen which you see after opening the arena visual display. So this is the false entry, so don't need to worry, simply press the delete key to delete this false entity. Okay, so first we need to add the floor in our 3D model. To add the floor, what you can do, you have to move to the thumbnail window. And how you can access the thumbnail window, simply move to the view tool windows and click this thumbnail button, and you will access the thumbnail window. And under this thumbnail window, move to the browse library, and from this browse library feature, move to library texture and click OK. And here you can see a list of texture is available in arena library. So I will pick this texture and place it here, and change the units like kilometer, meter, centimeter. So I'm using the millimeter units here, and click OK. So the texture is added here. So move this arrow button to increase the distance. Okay, so let's load it. So here you can see the floor is ready to build the model. Now we need to add the resources, entities, conveyors and the rest of the stuff. But the issue is in our model the resources are milling machine and the lathe machine. But you didn't find those machine from these browse for libraries option that is by default created in Arena window. So you need to actually import that machine into the Arena 3D environment. So how you can import those machine into Arena 3D environment? Okay, so you need to use the CAD software to convert your CAD model into the Arena 3D Visual Designer supported format so that you can easily import your CAD files into the Arena 3D environment. Okay, so you can see I have the different CAD models that is converted into .obj format or .3ds format. So Arena actually support both of these format .obj or .3ds formats. How we can add those files into Arena 3D model? First we need to add our resources here. So move to this editor explorer and under this editor explorer click these two resources that is already shown here, lathe machine and milling machine. Remember both of these resources have been defined under the 2D uh, model construction. So let's move these resources into our 3D environment like this, simply dragging. So by default you can see there is a person standing here, so don't worry about that. We can convert these resources into our required resource type. Okay, so after adding the resources, we need to define the style classes. So move to the style class, right click on it and click insert resource style class and rename this resource style class as milling machine. And how we can add the milling machine here? In that case you need to select the folder in which you have actually stored your custom 3D model. So select browse folders and this is our model 3D model folder. Open it and here you can see all your custom CAD models. So I'm going to use this machine as the milling machine for idle state and for busy state, and I'm going to delete these two states because I have not defined these two states in our model. And then close this window and select our milling machine resource, and under the style class on the right side of the properties select the milling machine, and here you can see the milling machine is shown on your file. So this is the milling machine. Okay, so now repeat the same step for the lathe machine. So define another resource style class, and now let's add the lathe machine. So this is our lathe machine. Drag it for idle and busy state, and again delete these two resource styles and close this window. Select our lathe machine entity and select under the style class resource style 1, or let's rename the resource style 1 as lathe machine. Okay, so the lathe machine is shown here a large, little bit larger size, so let's scale down Okay, so let's rotate this machine as 180 degree, 270. Let's change to 360, 90. Okay, so this is the required position that I want. So little bit step down. So you can see the both are custom CAD model file like milling machine and lathe machine have been added in our 3D model. And when you click these resource type, make sure the seize area is true so that when the entity is actually serviced by using this resource, you can see it in your 3D simulation. Same is the case for the other type. So now we need to actually move this seize area into this place so that you can see the part is actually service using the milling machine. So in that case, select this seize area, either the editor explorer or by the uh, thread clicking method, and now move this seize area to up like this and place it here. And now you can see when the simulation is running, the part is actually shown here. So now let's repeat the same step for the other type of resource. So here you can see the seize area is here, so move it here. Right, so both of the seize areas have been properly placed. Let's position these two machines. Alright, done. So now we have defined our resources. Now let's define the entity. And in our current simulation model, we have defined these two entity type, picture.boards and picture.widget. So make sure in this 3D model you have to export these two type because you define these two entity type. So let's pick the picture.boards, but make sure picture.boards is defined for part A, that is the milling machine, and picture.widget is defined for part B, that is the lathe machine. So move this entity to here, and picture.widget is moved to this stage. Okay, so now we need to define our entity type. So again move to the style class and right click and click insert entity picture style class. And in this style class I am going to use the browse library and library basic shapes and click OK. So for the first class I am use this boards and rename it as part A and close this window, and then again define another entity picture style class that is part B, and I use this box type and close it. Now assign those style classes to each of our entity picture. So first select the picture.boards and select the style class as part A and resize it and rotate it as you like. Done. So repeat the same step for the other part, that is part B. Rotate it and resize it as per required. Okay, so now we have defined our entity types as well as our resources. The next step is to add the queues. So to add the queue, move to this queue folder and insert the machine process 1 queue. Also insert the machine process 2 queue. So we know that the machine process 2 queue is for the lathe machine. Okay, so we need to rotate this queue as in this direction. So we need to move this point by pressing the control key. So while pressing the control key, you can change its direction from horizontal to vertical like this. Okay, so let's repeat the same step for our part A. So this is our machine process Q1. Alright, so here I'm at the another resource Q for part A and this one is for part B. So now up till I have defined the entities, resource and the queues. Okay, so the next step is to add the conveyor. So for adding the conveyor, we need to first select the custom 3D model folders, and now we need to drag our conveyor into our 3D environment, and here we have it. So let's take and resize the position. Alright, so we need to copy this conveyor for the other part type. So right click, copy and control B for paste it. Okay, so now we have to add the conveyor module data. So move to the editor explorer and the remaining queue, that is SS1 queue and SS2 queue. SS1 queue is for conveyor 1 and SS2 queue is for conveyor 2. So let's position these queue into this side. Done. And now we need to add the request 1 queue for forklifter 1 and forklifter 2. Done. Next we need to add the station. So click this station button, or you can also add the station from here. So this is our station 1 and this is our station 2. This is our station 3 and this is our station 4. And now add the remaining station. This one is station 5 and this one is station 6. Remember, in our arena model we have defined station 1 to station 2, station 3 to station 4, then station 5 and station 6. So I am simply add these station. Okay, so I have to add these two stations again here to just for convincing the forklifter pickup point. So add the station 2 again at this stage and station 4 at this stage. Done. Now we need to connect these stations through segments and the distance path. So first click the segment button to connect these stations. So click this segment button and click this station and this station and select the conveyor 2 segment from station 3 to 4 and click OK. Then move to the properties panel and change its draw to state to true and layout style to none. And now repeat the same procedure for other conveyor. Click this segment, click this station and click this station. This is the conveyor 1 segment from station 1 to 2 as defined in our model, and again change these two properties parameter. It's done. Now we need to add the forklifters. So move to this transporter. So this one is the forklifter 1 and this one is forklifter 2. Don't worry, we will adjust their position later on. And now connect these forklifter through the distance path from this point to this point. This is the forklift 2 distance from station 4 to 6, and this is the forklift 1 distance from station 2 to 5. That's it. Now save the model. Okay, so let's click this forklifter and double click on it to open the forklift style 1, and now add our CAD model forklifter, this one, and drag it here. For idle and for busy state and for inactive delete it, and close this style, and let's rescale the forklifter. Now repeat the same step for the other forklifter. Double click on it and again assign the forklifter for both states, idle and busy, and delete this inactive state. Close it and then resize it. Now we need to move this point to this point and this point to this point. This is the actually right point that is actually showing when transporter transfer the part from one station to another station. Okay, so let's position these queues. Okay, so now let's add some other cosmetic changes for each of the forklifter. So change its rotation to 90, like this, and repeat the same step for this forklifter. Change its rotation to 270 and move this point to this way. Okay, so we need to move these entities. Actually these entities are in space, so you can move these entities like this. Okay, so don't worry about that. This is actually just the process of adjusting the model into their space. So you can also use this properties panel to change its layout position in XYZ coordinate, so don't worry about that. So let's first run this model to check whether the model is worked properly fine or not. So the main focus of this tutorial is to illustrate you the step how you can import the custom CAD model into the Arena 3D model and how you can actually build the model. So rest are the cosmetic changes that can be done on your own. So let's run the model. So after running this model, you can clearly see the parts are entered into the system. Then they are processed using these two resource type, that is the milling machine and the lathe machine. Then parts are moved from the conveyor from station 1 to station 2, exactly the station 3 to station 4, and then the forklifter transfer these parts from station from arrival station to their destination station. And that concludes our model. Thank you.